the Mayor of Waitaki is joining us. Gary Kircher was elected, I think this is his fourth term. So what does that make it? 2013. Yes, it would have been as the Mayor of Waitaki, which is in Oamaru. And Oamaru in 2013 was a pretty, to be perfectly honest with you, a bit run down in 2013. It didn't have a lot going for it. It was on the way to Dunedin and sort of in equidistant between Dunedin, obviously, and Timaru. It was on State Highway 1. It had enjoyed better days, it would have to be said. But over the last 12 years, you'd have to say that Oamaru, and particularly its old area, which they were very lucky no developers moved into it in the 1980s like they did in Wellington. But they've rediscovered this wonderful whitestone city, which I have to say is one of the wonders of New Zealand, I can honestly say. It's right up there, or has the potential, when it's finally developed, to be right up there with the Art Deco architecture of Napier as an entertainment and as a tourist destination all of its own. And in many cases, it has become that. But he's retiring from the job. Still a young man, it seems. Gosh, he must be in his 50s, early 50s, I would have thought. But he joins us now to give sort of a bit of an inkling of why and where and what the future of local government is. Now, well, we'll go and find out. Because do small councils like Waitaki, like Rarahi, Rangatike, Central Hawke's Bay, Waimate, Westland, do they have a future at all? And Gary Kircher joins us now. Gary, welcome to the show. Lovely to have you on.
Good afternoon, Michael. Good to be on.
How old are you?
I liked your guess better than the actual reality. I'm 61 now.
Oh, really? Gosh, okay. And you're retiring after 4 terms. Why? You've run out of energy. You think somebody else can do a better job? You've got a better job to go to. What's the answer?
There's a number of things. I mean, you experienced local government for some time now. I think it's only ever got more and more complex. I think the last 6 years of toing and froing of government policy has had a particular drain on a lot of the participants at local government. So, yeah, it's just time for me to go and to do something else. I haven't got anything planned yet, but I look forward to having a change and just getting out of the spotlight for a wee bit.
You run out of energy too. I notice that. I sometimes think this, 6 or 9 years is really almost enough because I think you run out of energy. Did you find you're on empty as well?
I think that's a lot of people feeling like that in councils everywhere at the moment. Just it has been particularly draining. So, yeah, I like to be excited by the things I'm doing, and I'm getting to the end of feeling as excited as I should be about the role and I guess the impact that I feel I can make as well, because we all want to feel like we're meaningful in what we're doing.
Yeah, yeah. No, that's right. And that's something I wanted to talk to you about, and that is, do you feel a mayor? It's interesting. I had this discussion with Nick Smith a couple of months ago, and he's still sort of full of the joys of being a first-term mayor and getting stuff done and things like that. Do you feel, though, that the opportunity for a mayor to actually get stuff done is diminishing over time? Do you think that's a national trend?
Yeah, particularly as we deal with the things like water infrastructure and the challenges of that they're bringing, the standards that are there, the new standards coming in, and just the investment that's needed there, both in time and rates funding, just taking money away from being able to do some of the other things. Obviously, we've got a government who wants us to focus on basically core infrastructure and not do the full well-beings. And for a lot of us in local government, I think we are there for our communities and to just make places generally better, and that does really involve full well-being. So there's that challenge we've got that we're all facing as well.
No, don't you just ignore that, though? I mean, at the end of the day, you're still going to do what's best for your community, irrespective.
Well, yeah, last time they took the full well-beings out, everyone just carried on doing what they
Exactly.
wanted to do as
That's right.
far as delivering to their communities and what their ratepayers actually want.
But I mean, the water thing's interesting because I've looked at that and gone, this is a severe overreaction to a couple of councils not doing their job in Hastings and in Hawke's Bay. And suddenly we ended up with this massive water reform, cost hundreds of millions of dollars to get to where we are for no discernible impact or improvement. And yet you've still got a lot of change still to go. Do you feel that Waitaki and other councils like that can cope with these national directives and these huge sums of monies that are required?
Well, I think it's really incumbent on the central government to properly weigh that up. I think there were too many overdue consents and various things. Things weren't being done well enough. There's too many cans being kicked down the road. Let's save some rates. Let's not replace those pipes when they perhaps should be. So there is some responsibility local government has to hold for that. But equally, I don't disagree with you at all that there may have been an overreaction in what's required. And, that is taking away a lot of our ability to do other things, and that's particularly, I guess, as I say, for those of us who are actually in local government to carry out broader remit on just improving our places and making our places better districts to live in. So
Well, I'm
that's
thinking of
certainly
your
a bit of the
particular
feeling.
case, Waitaki. You've got your largest population centre is on the coast and living in Oamaru. I'm just working out what other areas you've got there. You've got Kura, or Kuro as it's known now, and Western, which is part of Oamaru. I guess you're a bit lucky, aren't you, in the sense that you can aggregate most of your infrastructure. You're not Central Otago, for example.
Central Otago is 10,000 square kilometres. We're
Yep,
7,000. Similar size to Mackenzie District. So we go out right up to Amarama, Lake Ohar Village. We go down halfway to Dunedin. So we've got Palmerston, the real
that's right. You've got
Palmerston, not that
Palmerston.
other
Yeah,
one.
yep, yep.
So we've got a fairly large area. We've got we used to have 24 water schemes. We're down to 14 because we have amalgamated a number of ones, and we've actually taken another one on as well that was privately run. So we've made some good decisions, I think, around how we amalgamate some of those services, and really it's looking at the current government reforms, working with other councils to deliver water services just more efficiently because of the scale and the skills that are required, the procurement benefits that we can get, and just in this case, take some of the politics out of decision making so that what needs done can get done.
Well, let's just take me through that because I think there's a gross exaggeration of the savings that you can make. You've still got to deliver water services, whether it's wastewater or freshwater, let alone stormwater. We'll come to that's another issue. In the areas that you've just described, if you go and aggregate yourself with, I don't know, Waimate, Timaru, Central Otago, Dunedin, whoop-de-doo, you've still got to deliver that service there, Gary, don't you? And you've still got to take that water
Mm.
away from there and treat it. I mean, apart from a little bit of money, I guess, in planning, and maybe a little bit of extra money in terms of, you might be able to share a couple of skilled staff, you're still spending all the money, aren't you, to create the infrastructure?
Yeah, we're not the first to do this. I mean, it's been done around the world, and so there are efficiencies to be gained and just better ways of doing things, more standardisation that could be happening. So there are, yeah, I mean, the modelling that we've been doing with other councils has worked on 1 or 2% efficiencies when we're
One or
being
2%.
told that really we should be looking at about 10 times that, around 15%. So the previous government, the efficiencies were very aspirational, almost heroic, and we were going to save huge amounts of money, and I don't think there was enough credibility in that. It was based on the wrong modelling, comparing us with Scotland that had doesn't have septic tanks, for example. Everything's reticulated. So, we've got to be realistic about our situation here. There are savings to be made, and that's one of the things. And amalgamation of water schemes into a joint CCO is the way that the government is sort of pushing a lot of councils, and I do believe it is the best way to get the most effective costs for our community.
Okay, you're bordered by, as you say, Dunedin to your south, Waimate to your north, Mackenzie, I guess, is inland. Um,
Yeah.
Mackenzie and Waimate are really good examples of small councils, and they're duplicated throughout the interior of the North Island as well. That, do you think there's a future for them being able to provide the infrastructure for those communities with the rating base that they've got?